This video, we are going to create a static web page using HTML and CSS. Let's see what is meant by static web page. A static web page is a web page that shows the same information to all users and does not change based on user interactions. A static web page is built with HTML, CSS, and sometimes JavaScript. A static web page do not change their content unless the owner updates them. Static web pages has less functionalities. Static web pages doesn't use a database, so it loads faster than other web pages. Some of the examples of static web pages are online portfolio, company about us page, blogs, newspaper article page, etc. On the other hand, we have dynamic web pages that changes their content based on user interaction or preferences. Dynamic web pages are built with HTML, CSS, JavaScript, server-side code like Node.js, PHP, Python, etc. Dynamic web pages are connected to a database like MySQL, MongoDB for storing data. Some of the examples of dynamic web pages are Amazon, Instagram, YouTube, etc. Now we are going to create this web page using VS Code so that we can open this VS Code. In that VS Code, you can see in the left side corner, we are already created Figma.html file. For creating an HTML file, you have to click New File, select a name you like, .html. Likewise, for creating an HTML CSS, you have to type the name you like, .css. Likewise, for JavaScript also, you have to type the name you like, .js. Now let's resume to Figma.html. For creating an HTML, you have to type HTML is to file. Now you can see document type HTML, which means document type declaration. All HTML document must start with a document type declaration. It is an information to the browser about what type of document to be expected. Language English. We have all the meta information in the head tag. In the title tag, we can change the title name as Figma project. Now let's come to the body tag. We can create a div and give a class to that div name container. Why we are using div? Because div tag in HTML is a container used to group together other HTML elements so they can be styled or manipulated as a single unit. In simple definition, you can say div is a block level element that divides content into section. You can also use section tag also. Let's see an example. You can see in this project or web page, the left hand side and right hand side has different color because they are divided into sections. That's why we are using div. After the div tag, I am giving a command line section as left panel because we have two sides. So I am giving left and right panel. This left panel, I'm going to class another div class. It's like a nested div. It's left. Inside that left channel div, I am going to give other HTML elements like h3 for heading. We have heading. Let's see the heading quick intro. After that, we have a paragraph. So we are going to give a paragraph tag. We're going to use p tag. So that p tag you can copy and paste that paragraph. Copy, paste the paragraph using Ctrl V. Okay. After that, we have another heading as related topics. So we can also give another h3 tag. Heading we have related topics. Related, sorry, related topics. After that we have list of elements, but the elements doesn't have any numerical value, right? So we are going to create this content using unordered list. So we are going to create an unordered list. For creating an unordered list, type UL After URL tag, let's create a list. So we can go to the browser. We can see there are number of topics here. We can copy this list of topics and go to VS Code and paste it here. We can align this list of topics in the center. We need to move this list of topics in the center, so I am using this shortcut Control plus Shift plus P and type center in the search box so that we can align this list of topics in the center. After that, again press Control Shift plus P and type emmet wrap with the abbreviation we can see in the first search itself. Let's click enter and type li so that li tag has created for all the list of topics. Press enter again. Let's check this using 5 server. Okay, the list of topics have created. Let's go back to VS Code. After URL tag, let's go to the design.pdf. We can see there is a button created under related topics in the web page or template, we can say. We need to create this button in the VS Code, so we are going back to VS Code. Let's type button. We need to type a content inside it. Become a member. After that, I'm going to inside the button stat tag. I am going to create an attribute called ID instead of class. Why we are creating ID? Because ID is used for one unique element. That means only one thing should have that ID. For class, we can use for many elements. You can apply the same class to multiple things, but we cannot apply ID for multiple things. So I am giving the ID name as BD. This also helps us to style in the CSS. Let's again go back to the 5 server. Button has created. Let's go to the design PDF. We have finally created this left sidebar. Now we need to create this right sidebar. For that I'm going to VS Code to type a command known as right panel. After that I'm going to create a section tag instead of div, which has same similarity of div. It divides the blog in sections. Inside the section start tag I'm going to give class attribute. Class attribute. uh, let's name this class as right channel. We can see there is a heading. Let's go. The heading is a little bit bigger than this quick intro, so I'm going to use h2 tag instead of h3. So I'm going to use h2. I'm going to copy this heading. Let's go back to VS Code, paste it here. After that we have a para, so I'm going to create a paragraph tag, that is p tag. Going to go to the browser and copy this paragraph, paste it here. After that we have image, so We can insert the image using image tag, that is img tag. Took the tag and going to click img. I already have source link, so I am pasting here. And we need to give an alternative. I am going to give Figma image. Why are we giving this alternative test? Instead, if the image doesn't display, the test will display instead of the image. So only we are giving Figma image. Let's go to the 5 server and check. The image has created, but it is very big because the width is very wide. So we need to reduce the size. So I am going to reduce the width and height of the image. So I am giving the width as 800 px and height as 400 pixels. Let's go to the 5 server. Let's see. Okay, the image has created, which is a little bit smaller than previous one. Now let's go to the browser again. After the image, we have another heading called Figma Week. Go to VS Code and create this heading using h3 tag. Figma Week. After that, we can see there is a paragraph under Figma Week. Let's create a p tag and copy. Go to browser and copy this paragraph. Paste it here. After paragraph, let's go back to the browser. We can see there is a list of elements under this paragraph. We can copy that. This list of elements are in unordered, so we need to create an unordered list. Inside this unordered list, let's copy this list of elements. Let's align this list of elements or list of sentence. We can align this list of sentence in the center. So I'm pressing Control plus Shift plus P and type center, so that we can align this list of sentence in the center. After that, again press Control plus Shift plus P and type emit wrap with abbreviation and type li, enter. The li I have created for all the list of sentence. Let's go back to the browser. We can see there is a button. Two buttons I have created. Let's go and create this button. I'm going to create this button inside a div so that I can style both button. So I'm giving this div a class attribute, naming this as btn. To create a button using button tag, subscribe, button for button 2. I'm creating button tag type 4. Let's go to the 5 server. We can see in the browser the two buttons have created. Okay, we have finally created all HTML elements inside this. Like this template, we created all the HTML. Now we need to style this HTML elements. We need to place right and left and right side. Let's go back to VS Code. Open fig.css, which is an external CSS. Let's link this external CSS in the head tag. Let's type link relationship style sheet. Inside this href, we need to give the external CSS name fig.css. Now we are linked this external CSS with our HTML. Link is also a self-closing tag like br and hr. break tag and horizontal tag. Let's go to the fig.css. I'm going to type dot container. Why I'm typing dot container? Because I created div class called container. So if you are creating a class, we need to type dot. So dot container. If you are using ID, we can type hash symbol container. So now after the container, I'm going to type display flex. Why I'm using flex? Because flex or flexbox is a CSS layout which arranges the element in a row or column format, which allows them to occupy the remaining space when the size of the browser is unknown or dynamic. Let's see as an example. Let's go to figma.html and open the 5 server. We can see the left side elements have shifted to right side. The page is divided, but because of the use of flex. Let's open the fig.css. Let's type min height as 100 vh. Why I'm giving minimum height as 100 vh? Because the element should be at least as tall as the full height of the browser window. So I'm giving viewport height as 100 so that the browser will be adjusted according to it. Let's go to VS Code. After that, I'm going to type left channel comma dot right channel. I'm typing this because it's inside the div called container, so I'm styling both at the same time. Inside this, I'm going to give padding. Why I'm using padding? Because padding is used to divide the space between the content of element and its border. Let's see. I'm giving padding as 30 px, and let's go to the browser. Let's go to the browser. We can see the difference. It has a lot of space. Now I'm typing padding as 10 px. You can see the space has reduced. The border and element space has reduced. That's why we are using padding. After padding, I'm going to style the font using font family Arial, Helvetica, Sans Serif. I'm using this font family. So the font of the page has changed. You can see now the font of the page has changed. Let's go back to VS Code. After that, I'm going to style the left channel or left div. So I'm going to give the width 35% because I need to reduce the width. Need to have the width for this. You can see if I increase the width as it is the shortest length. Okay, if we have two sides, length is the longest side and width is the shortest side. So I'm giving 100. You can see the difference. It has a lot of space. So I'm going to give width as 35%. I'm going to change the background color. As in template, we have gray color. Let's go back to the template. You can see we have light gray color. So I'm giving the background color for left side bar as light gray. So if you go back to the page, you can see the color has changed. After that, I'm going to type right channel, which is inside the section tag. I'm going to give this width as, see the browser before that. So open with 5 server. You can see there is a lot of space here. So I am going to have some space. I'm going to give this some space for right side bar. So I am giving width as 65%. Let's go and see that. You can see content has shifted. Going back to the CSS. Now I'm going to style unordered list because I need to remove the bullet points. You can see, let's open the browser. You can see there is a bullet points in both left sidebar and right sidebar. So we need to remove that bullet points. So I'm going to style this unordered list. So I'm typing unordered UL because we don't create any ID or class for that. So we need to simply type UL. Inside that UL, I'm going to type list style type. I'm going to give none. Let's go back and visit there. Let's go back to the. You can see the point has removed. You can see the element have shifted to right for both the list of topics as well as list of sentence. Given elements have shifted to right. We need to again make it into default style. So I am going to give padding as, because remove the space in between the border and element. So I am giving padding as 0. Now let's go back to the browser. You can see it shifted to the right side or default position. Let's go back to a VS Code. After that we have the elements doesn't have any space, but we have space in between the each element. So we need to give the space. For that I'm going to type ul unordered list li. Li means list elements inside elements. So I need to give the padding as 4 px. Let's see what happens. Let's open the browser. We can see there is a space as allocated. I'm going to give 5 px instead of 4 px. Let's go and see. Okay, there is some space. You can give 10 px. Let's go and see the 10 px. Okay, we have a lot of space. After that I'm going to give margin bottom. Margin means border space. So bottom, so for example we can give 50 px. Let's see what happens. You can see the elements have a lot of space because every element has a sub margin beneath them. So I am giving margin as margin bottom at 4 px. Let's go and visit the browser. You can see the margin has allocated. Let's go back to VS Code. After that I'm going to style button BD. You see this button, become a member. You can go and see the template. This button we are going to style now. So open the VS Code, type dot BD, sorry, slash BD, hash BD. Why are we using hash? Because we are using ID. So let's change the color, background color, select blue. So open the browser. The color has changed. Now go back to the VS Code and type. We need to change inside test color, so we need to type color and I'm going to give wheat. Let's go and see inside the browser. The color has changed. Now we need to make this button a little bit bigger and have some space in between them. So for that I'm going to back to VS Code, going to use padding 10 px. Let's see what happens. The button has changed. It has have some space in between. Now I need to give some space in left and right side. So I need to type padding left 20 px and padding right 20 px. Let's go and visit the site. Let's give a little bit space also. So I'm going to have value ends 28, right side value ends. Now we have enough space. We need to have some, the font size is smaller. We need to increase the font size. So I am going to give font size as 15 px. You can see the button is similar to the button inside this image. Okay. After that, I am going to style this right side bar buttons. So I am going to type dot btn because we have created this button using div. So I am div and we have given class attributes. So that's why we are using dot. Inside that, I'm going to, let's go back to some PDF. Blue color. The buttons are in right side, not in left side. We have the buttons are in our image. The buttons are in left side. We need to shift this button in the right side. So for that, we are going to give float. Float is a CSS layout tool which is used to move the elements from right or left side. So I'm going to move this element using float. Let's go back to browser. We can see the element has shifted to right. We need to color the buttons. Let's go to the browser. We need to color this button so that I'm going to type dot btn button. We need to style the buttons, so that's why I'm giving button here. Giving the background color as red and color the text as white. Let's go back to the browser. You can see the color has changed. Let's go back to VS Code. Open the bit.css. Let's give some padding to that because the buttons are so small. We need to make that button a little bit bigger. So I'm going to give 10 px, padding left 28 px, likewise padding right 28 px. After that, I'm going to give font size 15 px. Let's go back to browser. You can see the button has changed. Now I'm going to give some space in between them. So for that, I'm going to give margin left, giving 5 px. So let's give px. Okay, the button has some space. Let's see. Yes, the same space it is. You can also give a little bit some space. Let's give 15 px. Let's go back there. Okay. We can add some functionalities to the button. I'm going to give some functionalities to the button, like changing the color when we click. So that I'm going to use button over. Beside that, I'm going to give background color brown. Let's make it a little bit darker, so I'm selecting this color. Let's go back to the browser. You can see the button color has changed when the cursor when the cursor points out, the button color have changed from red to dark brown. Let's go back to VS Code and let's also change this button color also when it is clicked. Or is nothing but change the color when the cursor moves. So I'm using I'm typing hash bd giving background color as green. So you can see the color has also changed. We need to style this paragraph also in gray color, I think. Light, somewhat light dark, light black. So let's go to the HTML tag itself. You can style. Sorry. Let's go to H3 tag. Type style. Inside the style, type color. Let's type blank. Let's go to the browser. We can give gray instead of black. Okay, the color has changed. We can also change the color of the paragraph. List of sentence also changed. So I need to change the list of. So I am going to give ID as LN. Go back to CSS / LN. Okay, now you can see the color has changed. That's it. We have created our static web page. Thank you.